Welcome to Life Changes with Filippo. Today I have a very special guest. Of course, you all know him as Jack Canfield and America's #1 success coach. He's got a book out called The Success Principles. Please welcome to the show, Jack Canfield.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. But when you started doing this, you were Jack Canfield trying to get Chicken Soup for the Soul and people to listen to something that was important.
Mm-hmm.
And now people want to hear it. At the time they didn't. So how do you balance out the two? Like, was that more exciting at the time, and this is kind of now become old hat, or because there had to be something at the time that drove you?
Well, I was committed. I had a dream, and I was passionate about it, and I had been giving speeches to start out high school teachers. I was training teachers. I was doing in-service for schools, and I started moving into the corporate world, general public. And I knew the stories I told moved people. I got standing ovations. People would come up and want autographs. But they always said, is that story in a book? And I'd always have to say no. And so eventually I said, let's put all those stories in a book. So I wrote the book, took it to the publishers. The publishers all said, no, we don't like short stories. Nobody buys collections of short stories. The title's stupid, etc. And 144 rejections. And eventually we found a publisher. It took us 18 months to find a publisher. Now, was it more exciting then or more exciting now? I have to say it's more exciting now.
Really?
Oh,
okay.
Absolutely. It's more fun to be accepted. It's more fun to have audiences of 7,000 people that want to hear what you have to say than going from booth to booth to booth at a book show trying to get somebody to read your book. Now, but I was passionate about it. I knew it would work because people had told me these stories you told changed my life today. But we just had to convince the publishing world.
Right. When I bought my first house, I had no furniture, and I remember lying on the carpet, being so happy of having a house. And then afterwards, I had furniture, and the house became old hat.
Yes.
And I longed for the days when it was exciting to not have furniture, and I had bought my house. I had lost that passion, that desire. What is that?
Right.
What do we do with that?
Well, the journey is what it's all about. Once you get it.
Right.
I remember I wanted the pool table. I wanted a pool table so bad, and now it sits in a room and we fold laundry on it.
And you don't use it as right.
Not very often. We use it, but very
Right.
seldom. But what happens is it's the journey. It's like here I am. I set a target. I go for it. That's the fun trip.
Right.
Okay. But once you get there, as you said, it becomes old hat, and then you have to create a new vision. So, and what most people think is go back and create the old vision. No, you've already got that. So then it's called, what do I want to do? So after I did Chicken Soup, then it was, well, let's do a sequel. And then it was, what if we could sell 100 million books? What if we could do 1 billion books?
Right.
What if we could get our own TV show? What if we could have a radio show? What if we could have licensed products?
Now we're success oriented. We're talking about spirituality. In your opinion, because you see this, you're making this happen. Do you see it as a fad? How are people responding to it? Are they taking it on just because everybody else is doing it, or are they really getting it inside?
Oh no, I don't think it's a fad at all.
Okay, good.
I think it's the evolution of consciousness, and I think it's been around for a long time, and it's continuing to grow. We see more and more people getting involved. There's more and more people getting into AA and meditation and yoga and Pilates and spiritual groups and so on and so forth. People are getting into the mystical aspect of religion, which hadn't happened before. We see the Kabbalah and mystical Christianity and so forth. So no, I don't think it's a fad at all. I think it's a huge renaissance of what is really important in the world.
Right. Well, this is very exciting. I know there are lines of people in there that want you to sign their books and to want to take pictures with you. And congratulations. I mean, we've gotten to know your story. And one of the things that's a missing piece is in the beginning, you used to work for somebody who gave you some of these thoughts to think on.
His name was W. Clement Stone. He was a good friend of Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
In fact, they authored 2 books together. He was an insurance salesman, started a company with $10,000 and turned it into a $600 million empire, published Success magazine. He was a really cool guy. And I was fortunate enough to end up working in his foundation, teaching teachers how to teach achievement motivation to kids. And he taught me to be an inverse paranoid, to believe the world's plotting to do you good. He taught me to set goals, to visualize, to always think positive, to take action, to persevere, never give up. It's the core of what I still teach. Now, it's gotten more sophisticated. We know about neuro-linguistic programming and emotional freedom technique and all these new things. But still, the essence of it, I mean, now Stone was a Republican conservative, but I say he was a reincarnated Tibetan monk in a Republican body because he knew this stuff viscerally. And he said to me, I'll teach you everything I know if you'll promise you'll turn around and teach it to other people. I don't think he meant make a profession out of it, just, share it with people. But I did make a profession out of it.
And you've started a movement also for a lot of other people. So there are a lot of people that have professions now because
Yes.
you made a profession out
Yeah.
of it. So
I would love to see one of those family tree things, like the chain letter
Yeah.
effect of the work I've done. And it's not just me. There's lots of people that are out there doing it. But every time I meet someone, they go, I started my business because of you. I got out of a bad marriage. I started to do this new poetry magazine. I got an email from a professional athlete the other day. It's a professional football player. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have gone for my dream, and now I'm playing professional football.
Wow.
That's like that ripple in the pond thing, with the stone.
absolutely.
So I feel very
it's gotta
gratified.
feel, very
I do.
grateful.
Yeah.
And in a sense, do you feel almost that? I hate to put it this way, but I don't know a better way to put it. Like I could die now. I mean, and you fulfilled, or there's so much more you still want to do.
I could die now, and I am fulfilled, but I don't want to.
Okay.
I'm 64. I want to live to be 100. I believe that's possible, and I'm having too much fun.
And you know how this works, so you can do a lot more. And
yeah, I mean, I want to have more impact. I want to see more of the world. I want to experience things I haven't experienced. I want to go places I've never been. I want to skydive and bungee cord jump and see the clay
Wow.
soldiers in China. In Xi'an. I
This
wanna
is exciting.
Climb on the wall. I climbed up to the top of the Eiffel Tower with my son in Paris last summer, who's 17. My son is
now
17.
the top.
No, they don't let you go
Right,
to the top.
'cause there's an apartment
They
or
let you
something,
go
yeah.
all the way up as far as you can go, but we did that, and it was fun. And I went to Africa last year. I floated down a river near the Amazon where there were piranhas in there for 2 hours in a life jacket with 12 other people. Those are fun things to do. I want to keep doing them.
Why not? They're here for us,
Yeah.
and you're helping us learn how to go out and get them ourselves.
Yep.
So the book is called The Success Principles. We're talking to Jack Canfield, and it's been a great pleasure. Thank you for joining us on Life Changes with Filippo, and thank you for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thank
you,
you.
Jack.